Right then. Really don't know what I'm doing. Oh, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. If you're watching, I'm still setting it up, and I've never done this off my laptop before. So you'll just have to bear with all this amateur messes about. I think that's it. Hello. Oh, there we go. Got some chat. Sorry, I'm getting there. Evening, Alan, Peter in Somerset. Hello from Somerset. Man of Mead. Evening, Roger. Buenos dias. Well, actually, is it Buenos noches? Is that right?
Buenos tardes.
Buenos tardes is afternoon. I think Buenos noches is like night.
Goodbye, isn't it? It's like more like good night.
Oh, I don't know. Okay. So thanks for joining. Sorry it's a bit late. We've just been out with a nice meal with some friends. So do you know what? I'm on holiday, and I thought, yeah, it doesn't matter if I'm a bit late. Hi from Holland. Mick Jordan, hi, thanks. So just a quick recap. So we are sort of live from Vera. It's been quite chilly today, but it's been very pleasant to see the sun. And yeah, if you've got any questions, put them in the chat. Any EV related questions, I'll welcome them. It's been a really easy drive down from Orkney, easier than I thought it'd be. Roads are super smooth. What made you pick Vera for a destination? We came here last year. We flew in and we stayed about an hour away. Where did we stay last year, Urs?
Requetas
de Mar. And then when I hired the Polestar, I did a video about Polestar 2. We drove to this area of Spain to meet up with some good friends, and thought this is where we'd like to come back and stay. Have you been on the beach yet? The Rouge one. I know what he's saying. I haven't yet because they're all undog-friendly beaches. There's a beach we're looking for that will accept dogs. I get that. It's nice to have a clean beach. But I know the Rouge one is talking about a certain other beach that I went to, and I haven't been back there. No. It was a nudist beach that my wife inadvertently, on purpose, took me to see my reaction, I think. But no, I haven't been back there. Are there many EV chargers there around Vera? Thank you, David. There is one at a supermarket about a mile away from here, which is a Rapid, which works with my Electroverse card, which is in the car. But yeah, so next time we need to do a shop, which will probably be the next couple of days for some food, then I'll plug into that Rapid. So it's convenient. Not as many Rapids around here as there was in France, I have to say. Have a great time. Thank you, Tony. Richard Hawkins, are you likely to upgrade to a Model Y following your experience of the trip to Spain? Good question, Richard. The only reason I'd like a Model Y is the extra room. We are absolutely packed to the gunnels with dog stuff and our stuff. So having that extra space would be good. But to be honest, the range is going to be about the same as the 𝐊𝐵iro, except the new rear-wheel drive long range will probably be a little bit better. But using the Tesla superchargers, it's just been an absolute breeze. It really has been easy. No guarantee for the e-Niro 2019, less than 2 years guarantee, but car is first owner, buy or not. So 7-year guarantee, 7-year warranty with the Kia e-Niro. So it's going to run out 2026. Yeah, you could do. I wouldn't be too worried because if it was any other make and model, it'd probably be out of warranty. But I'm seeing 2021 plate 4 Plus for around now 15 at auction. So they're going to be like 16.5, 17 at a dealer. So obviously buy as new as you can to get that extra long warranty. But yeah, I'd go for a 2019. Depends what the price is. For me, price is always key as to whether I bought a car or not. Are you driving back the same way you came? Are we driving back the same way, us?
No, slightly different.
No, slightly different. That's all I can say.
No, it's not been planned yet.
That's it. It's not planned. Mrs. P does all the organising of stops via booking.com. So
we've got as far as 𝐃𝐿 to go back. 𝐃𝐿, and I haven't booked anything else.
Right. Did you all hear that? Going back to 𝐃𝐿. Can you hear Ursula when she's talking? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Or maybe you can't. But anyway, we're going back. Man of Mead, he says yes, you can hear you. How much credit on your Electroverse card? How much credit? Otherwise, a big bill from them and a toll tag. How much credit on your Electroverse card? Don't understand, Russell. I've had 2 referrals, so I've got £10 credit, but it comes off my electricity bill, so it's fine. Are all the Tesla chargers open all in Europe? I think they are. And the reason in my last video that I mentioned that they were EU funded is I think, I could be wrong, they were allowed to get funding if Tesla opened them up to all EVs. I think that was one of the criteria of them being funded by the EU. So I believe all of the Tesla superchargers in Europe are open. It's just the UK where he'll only open them up to not so busy sites. If they're really busy Tesla sites, then he just leaves it for Tesla owners. Roland Brusson, 17.5k. Are you the gentleman that was asking about a used 2019 one? Oh yes, you were. That seems a bit high for a 19 plate, to be honest, or a 2019 first edition. Yeah, they're a bit cheaper than that at auction. Considerably cheaper for a 2021 plate. What do you think about Elon political views and buying a Tesla? I have no political views either way, and it's not just Elon doesn't build every Tesla car. He's just like a figurehead. There are hundreds of thousands of people behind the scenes that make Tesla cars happen. So just the voice of one man will not put me off buying a product that's developed by thousands of people. It's just my personal view. But for what it's worth, all politicians are the same. I've got no opinion either way. How much did you pay for your tolls on the journey out? I've just looked up online about how much I paid for my tolls. Some were like €24 and others were like €3. I've got no idea. It's mounting up to quite a bit, but we haven't had the inconvenience of having to stop and pay. I just want to drive without stopping, so I don't know yet. Maybe that will be a future video on the cost of tolls through France and Spain. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Is that the question about Tesla superchargers? I don't know. 65,000 kilometers, 17 euros. Okay, so that's the 2019 e-Niro you're on about. What's 17,500 euros in pounds? It's probably 15 grand. So it's probably about right. 65,000 kilometers on my man maths is probably 30,000 miles, 40,000 miles. I don't know. So it's that's the route home. I don't know the cost of the tolls. Charging's been easy. France is the best for charging. It really was. And one thing I did notice is that in France, all the motorway signs had a little squiggly symbol, an electric car, like a bubble car with the plug coming out the back of it. So you knew there was charges at the next services coming up. That's something you did not see in Spain. So as we were driving past services in Spain, I'd always have a quick look across, and I couldn't see any charges, or I'd see a whole row of charges, but there was no signage to say there was charges of that site as you approached them, which I thought was a little odd. But in France, they've just seemed to have got it. Is Spain speeding up with new charge points like France, for example, or still miles behind? I wouldn't say they were miles behind, But France is definitely leading the way because it was just easy to find. There were literally every services through France. There was a sign saying there's multiple rapid charges here. Through Europe, well, through France and Spain, I have to say, all the tester sites were really nice. If they weren't at petrol stations, they were at places with nice eateries. We called into one place where the chargers didn't work. That was my fault. And it was a very posh hotel. It was very oldie-woldy. And how much was it a night, Urs, in that hotel that we looked at? We went in for a coffee and used the toilet. And you said some people reviewed that it was too old, the furniture.
Oh, £350 a night.
350 quid a night. We won't be staying there. But that was just one of the sites where the Tesla superchargers were. And you could go and get a coffee. The Man of Mead. I drive to Murcia from UK each year. Tolls, total round trip costs 250 quid. I take all the toll roads. Right, maybe so that's the bill I'm going to get then. About 250 quid. Okay, thanks for the heads up. Did you experience any snow on your journey? No, we didn't. And we missed the snow in the UK. We left UK 31st of December. So, we didn't. We just drove through loads of rain. And there's not been any snow. We've seen snow on the mountains, but we haven't seen any snow whilst we've been here. Where we're staying, it's a little apartment on the first floor. And it's very nice, but we are opposite like a bar, and it tends to be quite noisy quite late in the night. But it's cheap and cheerful, and it's clean, which is all we want. It's just a base to then go out. Are you driving back home in February, as the toll charges will be split over 2 months, which will work out cheaper? Okay. So, we leave here on the 7th of February, but we're going to take a good 2, 3, possibly 4 weeks driving back because we're going to visit family in England, UK, when we get back across the channel. But we're going to take our time going back, just exploring. If you had decided just to rush down, how long would it have taken? Well, if we wanted to get here in a hurry, we would have done what we did last year. We would have flown, to be honest. But
if we'd driven, we could have done it in half the time.
Yeah. I reckon we could have done it
10
in...
days, and we probably could have done it in 5.
Yes. So, some of the stops we stopped for 2 days, 2 nights.
Days, yeah.
So 3 days, stopped 2 nights, just to explore like Le Mans and
La Rochelle.
La Rochelle, and that one just across the border in Spain. San Sebastian was lovely. And I get some people only perhaps have 2 weeks off work and they need to get to their holidays as soon as possible to enjoy that stretch and then get home as late as possible to then go back to work. I get all that. But if that was the case, I would have flown. But I just enjoy driving, and you get to see so many more interesting places when you've got time to stop and explore. You do so much rushing around in your working life. I'm retired. It's now time to take it easy and just take in the scenery. And you stumble across little back streets and little back cafes and little hidden gems that you wouldn't have seen had you flown, or you wouldn't have seen had you just driven for 10, 12-hour stints, which I could have done in the e-Niro, but that wouldn't have been pleasurable. And the whole point of a holiday is to be pleasurable and enjoyable and relaxing. And we both said we found doing it this way far less tiring. I thought I'd be absolutely shattered by the time we'd driven 2,000 miles, but we felt absolutely fine. It was just, normal. It wasn't exhausting at all. Here's Rattle. Now, Rattle, a Conda, sorry if I've said it wrong, Rattle, looks after my SEO optimization on YouTube, and he's brilliant. DJP, say hi to Honourable Mrs. P for me and say that Rattle is here from Bangladesh. Thank you, Rattle, for your message. If any YouTubers want someone who is brilliant at search engine optimization, then Rattle is your man. Based in Bangladesh, 100% legitimate, thoroughly recommend him. He's really helped with my channel, which is grown. So good to hear from you, Rattle. DAA 70 reg Volkswagen ID3 Tech with 87% battery and 56,000 miles. Is this state of health okay? 87% doesn't sound brilliant, to be honest. State of health, 87% battery at just 56,000 miles. The early ID3s did need software updates, so maybe it needs an update. But there's plenty of ID3s on the market. Yeah, depends what you want it for. And like I always say, depends on the price. If it's cheap enough, then buy it. And if it fits in with your range. What were your maximum kilowatt hour range rates with the temperature differences during your journey? Good question. Crackhill software. Here it's been 22 to 24 degrees, and literally that day we drove like 30 miles. I was averaging 4.9 miles per kilowatt hour. But on the way down, through the fairly cool temperatures, sitting on the motorways at 80 miles an hour, 120 kilometers per hour, I was averaging 3.3 or 3.4. So that was the speed that made the miles per kilowatt hour quite low. But temperature does play an effect, and I've seen a rise in efficiency because of the high temperatures here. Yeah, but good question. David, if you have a diesel, you can get there in half a day without stopping or adding any fuel. David, apparently, yes. Thank you, David. You're having a laugh. I don't want to do it. I don't want to drive without stopping. I'm sorry. I've got a 2.5 hour range to my bladder.
Plus the dog, plus the wife.
Plus the dog, plus the wife. And we all want a happy wife. So we don't want to, drive to the point where our passengers are not enjoying it, dog included. Any advice, please? State of health measures through the OBD dongle and car scanner, reliable or for simple buy? You can do, Roland, but just look at the car manufacturer and its warranty. Most cars have a warranty on the battery for state of health for 8 years. And if it drops below, it's usually 75 or 70% state of health, they'll refix or replace the battery. But just do your research. Some batteries are better than others. Nissan without any thermal management, of course, are the worst. Those with thermal management, like the Kia and Hyundai, are the best, and Tesla, of course. You could get a dongle, you could try it, but all batteries will degrade over time. It just depends at what rate. So just use YouTube or social media to look at history of previous EVs and their degradation. Jason, do you drive an eco? I drive an eco all the time. It's perfectly fast enough. It really is. And if I want to avoid a dangerous situation, I have instant acceleration. Like all EVs, if you plant your foot to the floor, it will kick it out of eco, even though it still says eco on the dash, and still give you all the beans. So there's no point driving anything but eco, just to sort of soften the throttle response and just give you more range. But it's never dangerous. And if I'm feeling stupid and I want to do a drag race off the lights with some boy, then obviously I'll switch to sport and leave him standing. But I just leave it on eco by default. Evening, Jonathan and everyone. Wendy, hello, Wendy. Warren Butcher, if you had 40k to spend on a new EV in 2025, which car would you choose? Tesla Model Y, rear-wheel drive, long range. I think it's going to be a cracking car. And they came out, I think they were 44, was it 48? Mid £40,000 brand new Tesla Model Y, rear-wheel drive, long range. Wait another 6 months. Wait till October time, then we've been out a year. The new model will be out, the facelifted Model Y, and then the old Model Y long range rear wheel drive will be a cracking buy. It really will. So I'm going to wait till October, November this year to then look seriously at getting a Model Y long-range rear-wheel drive. I think I mentioned that a few times. Warren, we all degrade over time. We certainly do. Thanks for this live stream. Well, thank you, DAA. When you get back on the beach, will you be wearing your mankini? Let's not even go there. Cracky software. I recently bought a 70 reg 𝐑𝐕ro 4 with no service history, 65 hours. Do I have a warranty on the battery? Yes. We had a Kia e-Niro demo car with reflex, never been serviced, 2.5 years old, 30,000 miles. The gearbox started making that clicking noise and the motor making that clicking noise, and it's a common fault on a certain batch of 𝐑𝐕ro. Went straight to Kia, didn't ask to look at the service book, just replaced the motor and the gearbox free of charge, no questions asked. So this worry about service history stamps being on time with Kia, you know, if the motor fails or the battery fails, the fact it's not had screen wash topped up and it's the fact it's not had the brakes inspected will not have affected the motor and the battery. So dealers are naturally going to say you've got to have a full service history so they can flog you a car with history at a premium. You don't need it. You really don't. And worst comes to the worst, you could have them up before the courts and say, look, they're not replacing the battery because I haven't replaced the screen wash with them. They wouldn't have a leg to stand on. And I've not heard of anyone yet having a Kia e-Niro warranty rejected because the service history isn't complete or wasn't on time. And if that was the case, it'd be all over the social medias. But I haven't heard of one case where that's happened. So I'd say you've still got a warranty, 𝐊𝐿 software. Wendy, I love my new e-Niro EV, only ever driving normal. And even in this cold winter weather, I'm getting 3.8 per kilowatt hour. I'm getting up to 4.2. Would never go back to a nice car. That's great to hear, Wendy. Fantastic. Man of me, did you see the out of spec US YouTube channel that did the West East Coast race with 10 EVs? No, I didn't. I'll have to look that up. Sounds good. Eclectic cyclist, good solution for my 39 kilowatt leaves with fast degrading batteries. 62. Oh, okay. So someone's offering a 62 kilowatt hour LFP replacement for £6,600. Wow, interesting. Oh, sorry, 30 kilowatt. I was going to say. I think you still need thermal management. I know LFP batteries are better and don't degrade as much, but just the lack of thermal management from Nissan is a massive oversight. And I've still got customers on Orkney, they've got 24 kilowatt hour leaf and they're fine, bit of degradation, but others have got the 30 and they just degrade heavily because they just cook themselves. Many EVs there in Spain compared to France or the UK. Interestingly enough, Ursula mentioned that. We don't see many EVs here in Spain, not as many as we saw in France. Although I did see a Citroen C0 outside an eatery 2 days ago that looked immaculate without any rust, which was a real surprise because the C0s I've sold to customers on Orkney years ago are now quite rusty in the back. Mainly because they were built in Korea by Mitsubishi under license to Peugeot and Citroen, and I don't think they used any underseal, and our salted roads just eat metalwork on the C0s. Wendy, would love you to do a test drive in the new EV3. Would love to know your views on it. It's my replacement of the Niro in 2 years' time. Yeah, I've been in touch with Kia UK via Andrew Till of Mr. EV, and we fancy doing a video together, me and Andrew. But he's not yet. They've not yet got back to us about borrowing a press EV3 for a trip. But I don't think we're big enough, to be honest. But Kia occasionally will retweet one of my tweets, so who knows? I'd like to. I like the look of the EV3, but I don't think it'll have as much room as the Niro. And this trip has proved we do need a slightly bigger car because we want to try and do this trip as our main holiday every year to get away from the Orkney winters, the wind and the rain. that's starting to affect me, but it's affected Ursula for a number of years. So if we do this trip subsequent years, we do need a bigger car than the EV3. So Andrew and I have been talking about it. I've known Andrew for a few years because obviously I sold him that white Kia e-Niro, and he also bought the blue Leaf that Andrew's got, was via showroom auctions. So we're going to try and do something together. Whether it'll be with Flaviana or not, I don't know. He's a very fiery Italian wife. Which leads me nicely onto showroom auctions. So I'm doing a video this Thursday. It'll go out Friday night. So I am still working, although doing the videos is not really work because I enjoy doing it. So this Thursday will be my first video of 2025 from showroom. And there's something like 35, 40 EVs going through. I've had a quick look. So that'll be interesting to see. Did you see any of the new Renault 5 e-Techs in France? Didn't see any. No. On the cars we saw in France, lots of Tesla, lots of white Tesla. Not much else. Lots of Volkswagen ID4s I've seen on the trip down as well. Thinking of getting a charge point for my house, and I recommend to avoid, if you've got solar, get a Zappi, 100%. But other than that, try and get something you can easily program from your phone. Get something with an app to program. I do find all electric vehicle scheduling charge times within the car really confusing. But the thing I like about the My Energy app is that you can set the times really easy from the app. So I've not bothered with the timer on the Kia because it is so confusing, doesn't make any sense. So if you've got to get a charger, get one with an app that's easy to program. Megans. Yeah, I did a Megane. That was the video I did about the shocking service from Arnold Clark, but I had to take I didn't have to. I took the video down because the lad that was the salesman apparently was having some mental issues and he left his job. And yeah, so it was, the Megane was quite an impressive car, but I did a review on it, but then I took the video down. Do you see any other Kia Niros? I think I saw some Kia in France. I haven't seen any here. Plenty of plug-in hybrids. I did see an EV6 parked outside here yesterday, but that's gone. I saw an M322 reg with LFP about 9%. Okay, such a recent car. A Model 3. Yeah. So, see, the thing with Tesla DAA is that they don't put a buffer in their battery. So with the Kia e-Niro, it's a 64 kilowatt hour battery, but the actual amount is 67.5, I think. So my Niro will have degraded, but it's still invisible to the diagnostics until the state of health readings that you get. So my car will still say 100%, but there has been degradation from 67 and it's not yet it's not degraded to 64. So basically it's not saying it's degraded. It will have degraded, but Tesla don't have any buffer. So that's a more honest degradation. So I'd say that's just spot on, 92% state of health for a recent car. So I wouldn't worry about it. So what all batteries tend to do is degrade in the first 12 months quite a lot, perhaps about 10%, and then it stops and it levels out for years and then would start to very slowly decline. So the first 12 months, you will see degradation on every LFP or lithium ion battery will degrade. It's just what batteries do, but then it levels out. But it's just the way that Tesla measure it. So you can either have something that says 100% and feel good, but really it's degraded in the invisible bit of the battery, or you can have an honest degradation and feel a bit, So it's just down to how you view it. What did you think to the electric Arctic lorry? That was impressive. It really was. Peter in Somerset, the 𝐾𝐄𝐃 app for charging. I reckon the app was written by an IT type and not by users. I've really tried to figure out the charging schedule on the Kia system. It doesn't make any sense at all. It really doesn't. So I just never use it. I just use the My Energy app to schedule charging, which is great. Which also means I can activate the charging for my neighbour's Kia e-Niro, because I had a bit of sunshine last week and I was dumping on the grid. So I messaged my neighbour across the road on Orkney and went, quick, come plug your car in. So she went and plugged it in and just took a little bit out of my storage batteries to leave enough room for the sunshine the next day, because I was starting to dump on the grid and I just don't like dumping the electricity on the grid, or rather my neighbour have it for nothing. So I can't recommend enough the My Energy Zappi and the app. They are just easy to understand. The Man of Mead, near my holiday home in Punta Prima, near, there's still some free, okay. All the Spanish logos have caught onto them, so it's a right or bum fight to get on them. Right, okay. That's interesting. Somebody messaged there's a rapid charger 30 miles away from here. That's 24 cents a kilowatt hour, which is basically about cheaper than the Tesla one. So if we go out that way sightseeing, I'll try and find that charger and just see if it really is 24 cents or whether it's a typo. Very good. Right, I just thought I'd just say hi to everyone. Thanks for watching my videos and subscribing and stuff. Oh, that was you, Man of Mead. Right, thank you for that. So I'm going to investigate that charger. That was you. So Man of Mead messaged me and told me about the charger that was really cheap. So I'm going to hunt it down and maybe do a little YouTube short about it. But it does seem really, really cheap. No, in my look, it is just a typo and it's €2.40 or something. The Rouge one has donated £5. The Rouge one, you are bonkers, my friend, but thank you very much. That is very generous of you. Miss most of your live streams. Appreciate your vlogging. Small donation to buy Mrs. P a wine. Mrs. P, the small Rouge one has given you £5 for a bottle of wine.
Oh, thank you very much.
There you go. Thank you very much. It's really, really generous. What can I do? Well, I can put a heart on it. Look. Really appreciate that. That's very generous of you. Right, Richard Alford. Do you think it's okay to charge by 100% regularly, so use it every day in G5 trade for tax? Yeah, just charge, as long as you're not leaving it for weeks and weeks on end, charge any EV to 100% is fine. So just use it. Since Christmas, my first Aura BYS and i6, seen mine. Okay, electric cyclist, cool. Wendy Hopkins, say hi to Mrs. P. Have a great rest of your holidays. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
And thank you, B. Jackson. We will have a lovely holiday. And Man of Mead, thank you very much. I'm going to sign off. See, if you keep doing questions, I'm not going to sign off, am I? What are your? I'm going to get looks off Mrs. P in a minute. What are your thoughts on the Kona Electric facelift 2021? Better or worse than 2020? About the same. I think the Aero is about the same. I find the Kona a little bit tight for space inside. That's why I went for the Niro. Thank you, Small Rouge One. We will keep enjoying the sun. Thanks for the advice. Enjoy your holiday. Look forward to further videos. Thank you, Richard Alford. Thanks. Enjoy your evening, like these live sessions. Thank you very much. Happy holidays, Mr. and Mrs. P. Warren Butcher, buy and relax. Thank you. Right, I'm going to sign off. I had some ice cream, but it's melted. Just saying. Thanks for joining, everybody. And don't forget, Friday, 6 p.m, there'll be a new video from Shoreham Auctions. It won't be from down south. It'll be from up north. Thanks for joining. Now I'm going to very professionally try to end this stream.